Doctor, you are on mute.
Okay, hi. Thank you so much, Rucha, for reminding me my audio was on mute. Again, welcome everyone to Shunya Talks, a Sunday special where we study the Agamas. And with me today again is our guide and teacher, Dr. Lim, joining us all the way from Malaysia. And good morning, Doctor.
Yeah, morning.
Yeah, and thanks to Rucha also, who has helped us in getting these work translated. So let's, quickly before we go into studying today's verses, let's do a practice of 9 to 0. So yes, Ajay, can you pull up the slide? Yeah, so we are studying the Agamas, the Ekotara Agama. This has been translated initially from Sanskrit to Chinese by Gautama Sangadeva from the Kushan Empire. This is during the Eastern Qin dynasty during 370 to 420 AD. This is the time when this was being translated. Thanks to Dr. Lim, we've now been able to develop a team that is now translating all these Chinese sutras into English so that we all can read. These sutras are available on www.theagamas.com. Anybody would like to refer them as we are translating, we are uploading the documents directly there. So you can read the Chinese if you can read Chinese or in English also. So, Doctor, let's start today's chapter
Yeah,
30. Okay, chapter 30, the chapter of Strota. That means the
Shruta,
stream. Okay, 30th. The 30.1 Strota stream. Thus I have heard. One time the Buddha was staying in the Pasat mountain of Magadha, accompanied by a great assembly of 500 bhikshus. The Bhagavan rose early in the morning from his meditation in the quiet chamber and took a stroll outside, trailed behind by the novice bhikshu Sudha. The Bhagavan turned around and said to Sudha, I wish to question you about dharma. Listen attentively and think about it carefully. Sudha replied, Yes, Bhagavan. The Bhagavan then asked, Are the permanent form and the impermanent form of the same essence, or do they have various appearances? Sudha replied to the Buddha, The concepts of permanent form and impermanent form contain multiple meanings and are not of a single essence. Permanent form refers to the internal essence, whereas impermanent form refers to the external appearances. Therefore, their meanings are manifold and not singular. The Bhagwan commended, Excellent, excellent Sudha. What you have spoken explained this clearly. The concepts of permanent form and impermanent form contain multiple meanings and are not of a single essence. Now, Sudha, what about the concepts of defiled and undefiled? Are they of a single essence or do they have diverse meanings? Sudha replied, The concepts of defiled and undefiled contain multiple meanings and are not of a single essence. The reason is that the defiled refers to the fetters of birth and death, whereas the undefiled refers to the dharma of nirvana. Therefore, their meanings are manifold and not singular. The Bhagwan commended, Excellent, excellent Sudha. Just as you have spoken, the defiled pertains to birth and death, and the undefiled pertains to nirvana. The Bhagwan asked, Do the concepts of aggregation and dispersion share a single essence or do they have multiple meanings? Sudha replied to the Buddha, the concepts of aggregated form and dispersed form contain multiple meanings and are not of a single essence. The reason is that aggregated forms refers to the manifestation of the four great elements earth, water, fire, and wind, whereas the dispersed form pertains to the ultimate cessation of suffering. Therefore, their meanings are manifold and are not singular. The Bhagwan commended, excellent, excellent Sudha. Just as you have spoken, the meanings of aggregated form and dispersed form are manifold and not singular. How about Vedana and the Skanda? Are they of one essence or do they contain multiple meanings? Sudha replied to the Buddha, Vedana and Skanda contain multiple meanings and are not of a single essence. The reason is that Vedana is formless and invisible, whereas Skanda has visible forms. Therefore, their meanings are manifold and not singular. The Bhagavan commended. Excellent, excellent Sudha. Just as you have spoken, the concept of sensation contains multiple meanings and is not of a single essence. The Bhagavan then asked, the concept of written and unwritten, do they have multiple meanings or are they of a single essence? Sudha replied to the Buddha, the concepts of written and unwritten contain multiple meanings and are not of a single essence. The reason is that written words signify the bonds of birth and death, whereas unwritten represents nirvana. Therefore, their meanings are manifold and not singular. The Bhagwan commended, excellent, excellent Sudha. Just as you have spoken, the written pertains to birth and death, whereas the unwritten pertains to nirvana. The Bhagwan continued, now, why is the written associated with birth and death, whereas the unwritten is associated with nirvana? Sudha replied to the Buddha, the written involves birth, death, an end and a beginning, whereas the unwritten is free from birth and death, without an end or a beginning. The Bhagwan commended, excellent, excellent Sudha. Just as you have spoken, the written pertains to birth and death, whereas the unwritten pertains to the dharma of nirvana. The Bhagwan then addressed Sudha, you have expressed the truth quickly and clearly. Now I grant you the status of a senior bhikshu. The Bhagwan then returned to the assembly hall and addressed the bhikshus. The region of Magadha has obtained great blessings, allowing Sudha to roam this land. Whoever offers him clothing, food, bedding, or medicine for illness will also gain great blessings. His parents too have received great merit for bringing up such a bhikshu. The household where Sudha was born is truly blessed. I now tell you, bhikshus, you should learn from Sudha, who is exceptionally wise, who expounds the dharma effortlessly, without hesitation or fear. Therefore, bhikshus, you should emulate Sudha. The bhikshus, you must strive to learn as Sudha has learned. When the bhikshus heard what the Buddha said, they followed it with joy. Yes, doctor.
Yeah. Actually, this one is discussing about this, what do you call, the form, no? Okay, we always say that Panchaskanda is an illusion.
Illusion.
Okay, this refer to a long span, long span. So when come to the short span, okay, it is quite solid, It's quite solid and quite this thing. Now you see, not today. I'm using the handphone to communicate with you. We're doing this what do you call this Zoom and everything. Okay, so at this moment, this handphone is solid, This handphone exists. Okay, but in a matter of 10 years time, maybe 20 years time, so this handphone become obsolete, then we may throw it away, Okay, so in a sense that the handphone is impermanent when you look at it in a long span of time, but in a short span of time, it is solid, It's there. Okay, this thing. So that the Buddha actually, this one, he asks us to be very careful. You talk about skanda. Okay, this thing. In the short term, it exists. Okay, it exists. Okay. So that we should, at the end of the day, we should always balance, our practice to balance our thing. So he's talking about this written and unwritten. Okay, actually, written means form, Anita means formless. Anything is with form, there's a beginning and there's an end. Anything, because any form is an illusion. Even the universe, Oh, definitely there is a beginning, there is an end. Okay, but the true nature of everything, okay, the supreme consciousness, okay, the true essence of thing, that is always there. There's no beginning and there's no end. Okay, so that these are the things that we should understand, and when you practice also should balance the two. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it makes sense also, Doctor. In practice also, we see that our breath also keeps on changing. It keeps on, it's
Yeah.
there, but it keeps on changing. But you cannot say there is no breath. The breath is there, but the only thing it keeps on changing. So that fact of something being there, but you just cannot be nihilistic and say there is no breath. So I think it makes sense what you said.
Yeah. Thing keep on changing. You're right. Keep on changing. This
Okay.
thing. Okay. So that's you should look at thing in a long span and in a short span. Okay. In short span, many things they do exist now. That's why some of the Slavaka school, okay, they insist that Panchaskanda is real.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but this is a wrong concept. Wrong concept. It's not real. Only in a short period of time it look real. No? Okay, but at the end of the day it disappear. At the end of the day
Absolutely.
you'll be destroyed. Okay, so no point for us to attach to it. So when you
Like a
attach to it, it lead to birth.
yes. Doctor,
Yeah,
like a lightning. You
yeah,
cannot say
yeah,
lightning is not there. Lightning comes and it goes.
yeah.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's right. It's real.
Yeah. Yeah.
But after
True.
that, it
No,
disappear.
so doctor, one more thing. This chapter is named as stream, the
Dream.
Strota. Means this what Buddha trying to explain, that who is a stream enterer, one who understands this. So he's asking Sudha these questions, and then he claims that you are now well,
Senior.
and now you have entered the stream. You have understood it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because he differentiate the illusion from the real
Correct.
thing.
Yeah. We'll take the next verse.
Yeah. Let's continue. Yeah.
Yeah. So we go for 30.2. That's Sumana. Thus I have heard. One time the Buddha was dwelling in the Kalandaka bamboo grove near Rajagriha, accompanied by a great assembly of 500 bhikshus. At that time the Bhagwan was teaching the Dharma surrounded by an innumerable assembly. Among them was an elder bhikshu who lay stretching out his feet towards the Bhagwan. Not far away, the 8-year-old novice Sumana sat in full lotus posture, his mind focused in contemplation. Observing the elder bhikshu sleeping with outstretched feet and the young novice sitting upright in meditation, the Bhagavan spoke this verse. One called elder may lack shaven head and beard, though advanced in years, still engaged in foolish deeds. But one who sees the truth and harms no living being, abandoning all defilements, this is truly an elder. I declare an elder is not just one who was ordained first, but cultivates wholesome roots and discerns right practice. Even a youth with faculties intact and pure, this is truly an elder who discerns the true dharma. Then the Bhagwan addressed the bhikshus. Do you see this elder sleeping with outstretched feet? The bhikshus replied, Indeed, Bhagwan, we have all seen this. The Bhagwan said, For 500 lifetimes, this elder bhikshu has continually taken Naga form. Should he die now, he would again be reborn as a Naga. Why? Because he lacks reverence for the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Any being who lacks such reverence will be reborn among Nagas after death. But have you seen the 8-year-old novice Sumana sitting near me in perfect meditation? The bhikkhus replied, Indeed, Bhagwan. The Bhagwan continued, In 7 days, this novice will attain the 4 bases of spiritual power, realize the 4 noble truths, master the 4 dhyanas, and perfectly cultivate the 4 right efforts. Why? Because Sumana maintains deep reverence for the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Therefore, bhikshus, you must always diligently revere the 3 jewels. thus you should train yourself. When the bhikshus heard what the Buddha said, they followed it with joy. Yes, doctor.
Yeah. Here, you see, when a person who do not respect Buddha, okay, this is a thing, okay, we do not condemn them to hell, no, but they were born as a Naga.
Yeah.
You're born as a Naga, yeah, this is a thing. The punishment is there, okay, but not to the extent of going to hell, okay, this thing. So you see, even that elders setting the leg towards Buddha, this is very disrespectful, you know, and it's very ignorant, very careless now in his practice now. He do not respect at all. Okay, so even during Buddha time, there are all sort of character, you know, all sort of funny character. Yeah, these are thing, you know. So Buddha said that these kind of people, they are hopeless, no. Even though they have been advanced in ordain, you know, they are not considered as elders. This is a thing. Then because of the disrespect, you know, they were born as Naga. Actually, Naga is under the what do you call? It's not too bad, you know. It's under the Dewarim.
Mm-hmm.
It's under the Dewarim. It's not too bad, okay. But of course, it's still considered as animal.
Mm-hmm.
Animal rim, you know. But only thing is that is a powerful animal. It can transform to human shape if they want. Yeah.
And doctor, as you say, even 7 days is enough of somebody. And Buddha here is telling about this novice who is sitting rightfully.
Yeah.
He's saying that this person in 7 days he will realize the truth.
Yeah, 7 days, yeah. Even you practice, Sunya practice properly, even in 7 days, you get very good result. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
very important. Let's take the next verse.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have time. Yeah. So 30.3. Thus I have heard. One time the Buddha was staying at Anathapindida's ashrama in Jetwana of Shravasti, together with a great assembly of 1,250 bhikshus. At that time, there was a wealthy householder named Anathapindida, who possessed immeasurable treasures: gold, silver, jewels, chariots, agates, pearls, amber, crystal, lapis lazuli, elephants, horses, cattle, sheep, servants, and attendants beyond reckoning. In the city of Purnavardhana, there was another wealthy householder named Purnaka, equally rich in treasures: chariots, agates, pearls, amber, crystals, lapis lazuli, elephants, horses, cattle, sheep, servants, and attendants beyond measure. They had been close friends since childhood, maintaining mutual affection and respect without fail. Anathapindita always kept tens of millions worth of treasures in Purnavardhana for trade, entrusted to Purnaka's management. Likewise, Purnaka kept tens of millions of worth of treasures in Shravasti for trade, entrusted to Anathapindita's care. Now, Anathapindita had a daughter named Sumati, whose beautiful countenance resembled peach blossoms, a rare sight in the world. Once, when Purnaka came to Shravasti on business and visited Anathapindida's home, Sumati emerged from her quiet chamber. She first paid respects to her parents, then bowed to Purnaka before returning to her chamber. At that time, the wealthy Purnaka, having seen Sumati's exquisite beauty, her complexion like peach blossoms, a rarity in this world, inquired of Anathapindita, "To which family does this maiden belong?" Anathapindita replied, "The maiden you saw is my own daughter." Purnaka said, "I have an unmarried son. Might she be promised to our unworthy household?" Anathapindita responded, "This would not be proper." Purnaka asked, "Why is it improper? Is it our lineage or wealth that falls short?" Anathapindita explained, "Our family status and wealth are well matched, but our religious devotions differs. This girl follows the Buddha, a disciple of Shakyamuni, while you adhere to heretical teachings. For this reason, I cannot accept your proposal." Purnaka said, "Let us each maintain our separate worships. Her devotion and our needs not interfere." Anathapindita said, Should my daughter marry into your family, the dowry would be immeasurable, and your family must likewise provide immeasurable wealth. Purnaka asked, what bridal gift do you require? Anathapindita said, I now require 60,000 taels of gold. Immediately, the wealthy man provided 60,000 taels. Then Anathapindita thought, even with my tactful refusal, he persists. He told the wealthy man, should I consent to my daughter's marriage, I must consult the Buddha first. Whatever the Buddha instructs, I shall obey. Pretending other business, Anathapindita went to see the Buddha. Prostrating at the Buddha's feet, he stood to one side and asked, Buddha, Purnaka of Purnavardhana seeks Sumati in marriage. Should I consent? The Buddha replied, should Sumati go to that country, she will bring immense benefit and liberate countless beings. Anathapindita then realized the Buddha's wisdom sees this as skillful means for spreading dharma there. After prostrating and circumambulating the Buddha 3 times, Anathapindita returned home and prepared a feast. Purnaka asked, why this banquet? Will you give me your daughter? Anathapindita said, if you still wish it, bring your son here in 15 days. With these words, he concluded their meeting. Purnaka prepared magnificent gifts and came in a jeweled chariot from 80 yojanas away. Anathapindita adorned Sumati with perfumes and jewels, sending her in another jeweled chariot. The parties met midway. Purnaka brought the bride to Purnavardhana. At that time, the citizens of Purnavardhana had established a strict ordinance. Any woman of this city who marries outside shall face severe punishment. Likewise, shall any outsider who brings a bride into our city be severely punished. In that kingdom dwelt 6,000 Brahmana priests, revered by the people. The Lord decreed, violators must feast 6,000 Brahmanas. Knowing he had broken the law, the wealthy man prepared the feast. These Brahmanas consumed pork broth, and strong liquor. Their attire consisted either of white hemp cloth or woolen garments. According to Brahmana custom, when entering the city, they wore their robes draped over the right shoulder, leaving half their bodies exposed. The wealthy man announced, the time has come, the feast is prepared. Thus the 6,000 Brahmanas entered the household with robes draped over their right shoulders, half naked. The wealthy man crawled forward on his knees to greet them, bowing reverently. The chief Brahmana raised his hand in blessing, embraced the host's neck, and led him to the seating area, while the other Brahmanas sat according to their rank. When all the 6,000 Brahmanas were seated, the wealthy man said to Sumati, adorn yourself and pay respects to our teachers. Sumati replied, no, my lord, I cannot bow to naked men. The wealthy man explained, these are not naked men without shame. Their attire is prescribed by their spiritual discipline. Sumati responded, these shameless ones who expose their bodies, what spiritual significance does their attire hold? Noble sir, hear this. The Tathagata teaches two virtues cherished by the wise, moral conscience and moral dread. Without these, we could not distinguish between parent and child, elder and junior, just as chickens, dogs, pigs, sheep, donkeys, and mules share no social hierarchy. These men, devoid of both virtues, resemble beasts in a herd. How could I possibly bow to them? Her husband insisted, rise and pay respects to our teachers. These men are the deities we worship. Sumati replied, enough, noble husband. I cannot bow to these shameless naked men. For me to do so would be like a human bowing to donkeys and dogs. Her husband protested, cease, noble wife. Guard your tongue. These are neither donkeys nor deceivers. Their garments are genuine spiritual robes. Tears streaming down her altered countenance, Sumati declared, rather than submit to such wrong views, I would have my parents and relatives witness my body dismembered and life extinguished. The 6,000 Brahmanas cried out, enough! Why tolerate this slave girl's insults? If invited, serve the feast. The householder and Sumati's husband then served pork broth, and strong wine until the Brahmanas were satiated. After brief discussion, the Brahmanas departed. At that time, the wealthy Purnaka sat alone in his high tower, deeply distressed and lamenting. By bringing this bride here, I have ruined my household and brought disgrace upon my family. Now there was a Brahmana named Subhadra who possessed the five supernatural powers and mastery of meditative absorptions, highly revered by Purnaka. Thinking, it has been long since I last saw the wealthy man. Subhadra entered the Purnavardhana and went to Purnaka's residence. He asked the gatekeeper, "Where is the master now?" The gatekeeper replied, "The master is in his tower, overcome with grief beyond description." Subhadra went straight up and asked, "What troubles you so? Has some official persecution, banditry, flood, or fire befallen you? Or is there discord in your household?" Purnakar answered, "No external calamity, only domestic misfortune." Subhadra inquired, "Please describe this misfortune." "Yesterday, my son married, violating our city's law. My kinsmen were humiliated when the bride refused to honor our priests." Subhadra asked, "From which land was this bride taken?" Purnaka said, "She is the daughter of Anatha Pindita from Shravasti." When Brahmana Subhadra heard this, he gasped in astonishment, covered his ears with both hands, and exclaimed, householder, how extraordinary that this woman still lives, neither taking her own life nor leaping from the tower, is most fortunate indeed. For the teachers she follows are true practitioners of the noble life. This is truly remarkable. Next slide. The householder said, "Your words provoke my laughter. As a follower of a non-Buddha's teachings, why praise the Sakyans, Shramik practices? What spiritual powers or miracles do her teachers possess?" Subhadra replied, "Householder, would you hear of her teacher's spiritual majesty? Let me briefly explain." "I would hear it," said the householder. Subhadra said, "Once I went north of the Himalayas to beg alms. Having received food, I flew to the lake Tapta. The gods, Nagas, and spirits there saw me from afar and came brandishing weapons, saying, 'Shramana Subhadra, do not approach this sacred lake. Defile not its waters. Disobey, and your life ends here.' Hearing this, I ate at a distance from the lake. Know this, householder, the youngest disciple of her teacher, a novice named Junto, once went north of the Himalayas to beg for food. Carrying a blood-stained burial shroud, he flew to Lake Anavatapta. The great deities, Naga spirits of Anavatapta, all rose to greet him, bowing respectfully. "Welcome, O teacher of men. Please be seated." The novice then went to the lake shore. At the lake's center stood a pure golden platform. The novice soaked the death shroud in the water, then sat to eat. After finishing his meal and washing his bowl, he placed it on the golden platform and assumed full lotus posture. With body upright and mind concentrated, he entered the first dhyana, then successively the second, third, and the fourth dhyanas. From the fourth dhyana, he entered the sphere of infinite space, then the sphere of infinite consciousness, and then the sphere of nothingness, and then the sphere of neither perception nor non perception. From there, he entered the cessation of perception and feeling, then the radiance samadhi, then the aqueous samadhi, and then again the radiance samadhi. He then reversed the sequence through all meditative attainments back to the first dhyana. Rising from meditation, he washed the death shroud. Deities, Nagas, and spirits assisted, some treading the cloth, some rinsing it, some drinking the wash water. When clean, the cloth hung suspended in air to dry. The novice then gathered it and flew back to his dwelling. Know this, householder, though I witnessed this from afar, I dared not approach. If the youngest disciple of a teacher possesses such spiritual power, how much more the senior disciples? And how could one compare to their teacher, the Tathagata, the Samyak Sambuddha? Realizing this truth, I exclaimed, "How wondrous that this woman neither took her own life nor sought death." The householder then asked Subhadra, "Can we meet the teacher she follows?" Subhadra replied, "You should ask the maiden herself." The householder asked Sumati, "I wish to meet your teacher. Can you invite him here?" Overjoyed beyond measure, Sumati replied, "Prepare offerings. Tomorrow the Tathagata will come with the Bhikshu community." The householder said, "You extend the invitation yourself. I know the proper rites." Sumati bathed, took a censer, ascended the high tower, and prayed with palms joined. "O Buddha, whose crown no eye can behold, you who knows and sees all things, your daughter now in distress beseeches your compassionate gaze." Sumati then offered this hymn of praise. "Your vision penetrates all worlds without exception. You subdued the demon kings and the child eating demoness. That flesh devouring demon who made garlands of human fingers, then sought to kill his own mother, yet you vanquished him. In Rajagriha, when the enraged elephant charged, you calmly took refuge, making gods exclaim excellent. In Mati Paraka, confronting the evil Naga king, seeing Vajrapani's might, the Naga surrendered. Countless miracles all establish the true Dharma. Now facing calamity, I beg your divine intervention. Then the incense smoke rose like clouds, hanging mysteriously in the sky, filling the Jetvana grove, coming to rest before the Tathagata. The Shakyas in the sky joyfully paid homage, seeing the incense offering from Sumati's sincere invitation. A rain of countless flowers filled the Jetvana grove as the Tathagata smiled and radiated brilliant light. At that time, the Venerable Ananda noticed this exquisite fragrance permeating the Jetwana monastery. He approached the Buddha, prostrated at his feet, stood to the one side, and inquired, "Bhagwan, what is this wondrous fragrance that fills the entire Jetwana compound?" The Buddha replied, "This fragrance is a divine messenger from Sumati of Purnavardhana city. Now assemble all the bhikshus and distribute the tally sticks, announcing all arhants who have destroyed the taints and attained the spiritual powers shall take the tally sticks. For tomorrow we go to Purnavardhana to accept Sumati's invitation." Ananda acknowledged the instruction. Gathering the Sangha in the assembly hall, he distributed the tally sticks to all accomplished arhants. Among them was the senior bhikshu Kantukarna, a stream enterer who had not yet eradicated all defilements nor attained spiritual powers. Kantukarna thought, "As the most senior bhikshu here, though still in training, I too shall accept a tally stick. For even the junior novice Juntao, with his great spiritual powers, will attend." With his mind perfectly purified while still in the training stage, he took a tally stick. With his divine eye, the Buddha saw Kantukarna's pure intention while still a learner. Immediately, Kantukarna attained arhantship. The Buddha then declared, "Foremost among my disciples in properly receiving the tally stick is the bhikshu Kantukarna." The Buddha then addressed the bhikshus with spiritual powers. Mahamaudgalyana, Mahakashyapa, Aniruddha, Revata, Subhuti, Upakashyapa, Mahakapihena, Venerable Rahula, Shudra Pantaka, and Novice Junto. You shall proceed first to the city by means of your spiritual attainments. The bhikshus replied, "As you command, Bhagwan." At dawn the next day, the bhikshu's attendant named Ghanta flew through the air carrying a large cooking pot towards the city. From their tower, the householder and the townspeople saw the approaching figure and recited, "White robed yet long haired, bare as the rushing wind, bearing a giant pot. Is this your teacher?" Sumati responded in verse, "This is not the master, but the Buddha's attendant, possessing three knowledges and five powers. His name is Ghanta." At that time, the attendant Ghanta circumambulated the city three times in the sky before arriving at the householder's residence. Then the novice Juntao manifested 500 flowering trees of various colors, all in full bloom, with exquisite blue lotuses and countless other blossoms as he approached the city. Seeing the novice approaching, and the householder asked in verse, "These myriad blossoms floating in midair, is this miraculous being your teacher?" Sumati replied in verse, "As Subhadra previously explained, the foremost among novices. His teacher is Shariputra. This is that disciple. Then the novice junta circumambulated the city 3 times in the sky before arriving at the householder's residence. Next, the venerable Shudra Pantaka manifested 500 oxen with azure colored fur seated cross legged upon their backs as he approached the city. Seeing this, the householder inquired in verse, "This great herd of oxen, all with azure hides, the solitary figure seated above, is this your teacher?" Sumati replied in verse, "He who transformed 1,000 bhikshus in Jivaka's mango grove with radiant clarity of mind. This is Shudra Pandaka." Then the Venerable Shudra Pandaka circumambulated the city 3 times and before arriving at the householder's residence. Next, the Venerable Rahula manifested 500 peacocks with brilliantly colored plumage, seated cross legged upon them as he approached the city. Seeing this, the householder asked in verse, "These 500 peacocks with most exquisite hues, like an army commander, is this your teacher?" Sumati replied in verse, "He who keeps all precepts without slightest transgression, guardian of discipline, the Buddha's son Rahula." Rahula then circumambulated the city 3 times before arriving at the householder's residence. Then the Venerable Mahakapanya manifested 500 fierce golden winged Garudas seated cross legged upon them as he approached the city. Seeing this, the householder asked in verse, 500 golden winged Garudas, fiercely majestic, fiercely riding above, is this your teacher? Sumati replied in verse, "He who masters breath meditation, transforming mental formations, without wisdom's supreme strength, this is Mahakapina." Mahakapina then circumambulated the city 3 times before arriving at the householder's residence. Next, the Upakashyapa manifested 507 headed Nagas seated cross legged upon them as he approached the city. Seeing this, the householder asked in verse, "These 7 headed Nagas, most awe inspiring in majesty, countless in procession, is this your teacher?" Sumati replied, "With 1,000 constant disciples, miraculously teaching in all directions, this is Upakashyapa, the great Dharma master." At that time, Venerable Upakashyapa circumambulated the city 3 times and then arrived at the elder's residence. Then the Venerable Subhuti transformed into a lapis lazuli mountain, seated in the meditation within its crystal cave as he approached the city. Seeing this, the elder asked in verse, "This most wondrous mountain, all of lapis lazuli hue, meditating in its cavern, is this your teacher?" Sumati replied in verse, "Through the fruits of past generosity, he now attains such merit, a supreme field of blessings, the Shunya realizer, Subhuti." Subhuti then circumambulated the city 3 times before arriving at the elder's residence. Next, the Venerable Mahakatyayana transformed into 500 pure white swans, filling the sky as he approached the city. Seeing this, the elder asked in verse, "These 500 swans, all in purest white, filling the entire sky, is this your teacher?" Sumati replied in verse, "He who elucidates the Buddha Sutras, analyzing their profound meanings, dispelling the knots of defilements. This is Mahakatyayana." Then the Venerable Mahakatyayana circumambulated the city 3 times before arriving at the elder's residence. Next, the Venerable Revata manifested 500 tigers seated majestically upon them as he approached the city. So, seeing this, the elder asked in verse, "These 500 tigers with radiant, glorious fur, the one seated above them, is this your teacher?" Sumiti replied in verse, "At the Jetwana monastery for 6 years, unmoving in meditation, supreme in seated concentration, this is Venerable Revata." At that time, Venerable Revata circumambulated the city 3 times and arrived at the elder's residence. Next, the Venerable Anuruddha manifested 500 fiercely majestic lions seated upon them as he approached the city. Seeing this, the elder asked in verse, "These 500 lions, so bold and terrifying, the one seated atop them, is this your teacher?" Sumati replied in verse, "At his birth, the earth trembled, treasures emerged from the ground, his divine eye perfectly pure, the Buddha's disciple Aniruddha." Aniruddha then circumambulated the city 3 times before arriving at the elder's residence. Then the Venerable Mahakashyapa manifested 500 golden maned horses adorned with silver and gold trappings, seated upon them while celestial flowers rained down as he approached the city. Seeing this, the elder asked in verse, "Golden horses with crimson manes, 500 in number, is this the Chakravartin or is this your teacher?" Sumati replied in verse, "Foremost in Shramanic practice, ever compassionate to the poor, to whom the Buddha offered half his seat, this is the great Mahakashyapa." Mahakashyapa then circumambulated the city 3 times before arriving at the elder's residence. Next, the Venerable Mahamogdigalayana manifested 500 white elephants, each with 6 tusks and 7 perfect features, adorned with gold and silver. Seated upon them, he approached the city, filling the world with radiant light. In mid-air, divine music played, countless flowers rained down, and exquisite banners and canopies hung throughout the sky. Seeing this, the elder asked in verse, "White elephants with 6 tusks, seated like celestial kings, with this heavenly music, is this Shakyamuni himself?" Sumati replied in verse, "He who subdued the Naga king on the great mountain's peak, foremost in spiritual powers, this is Mahamodgalayana. My teacher has not yet come. These are but his disciples. The sacred teacher will arrive, his light illuminating all." Mahamodgalayana then circumambulated the city 3 times before arriving at the elder's residence. When the time had come, the Buddha donned his bhikshu robe and appeared in the sky, 7 fathoms above the ground. The Venerable Anya Kondanya stood to the Buddha's right and Shariputra to his left. Supported by the Buddha's majestic power, Ananda stood behind him, holding a fly whisk, while 1,200 disciples surrounded them in all directions. The Buddha stood at the center, with his disciples displaying their spiritual powers. Anya Kondanya transformed into the moon deva, Shariputra into the sun deva. Other accomplished disciple manifested as Shakra, Lord of the Devas, Brahma, Dhritarashtra, the East World Protector, Viruddhaka, South, Viruddhapaksha, West, or Vaishravana, North. Some appeared as Chakravartins. Some entered the radiant Samadhi or crystal Samadhi, emitting light or smoke, displaying various miraculous powers. Brahma stood to the Buddha's right holding a fly whisk, while Shakra stood to his left. The Vajra wielding guardian Vajrapani stood behind the Buddha. Vaishravana held a 7 jeweled canopy above the Buddha to shield him from the dust. The celestial musician Panchashikha played a lapis lazuli flute singing praises of the Buddha's virtues. Countless deities filled the sky with divine music and rained down heavenly flowers upon the Buddha. King Prasanajit, Elder Anathapindita, and the people of Shravasi all beheld the Buddha in midair, 7 fathoms above the ground. Overwhelmed with joy, they rejoiced beyond measure. Anathapindita then proclaimed this verse: "The Tathagata is truly wondrous, loving beings as his own children. O blessed Sumati, now you shall receive the Buddha's Dharma." King Prasanajit and Anathapindita scattered fragrant flowers and incense. The Buddha, surrounded by countless bhikshus and celestial beings, proceeded through the sky like a phoenix king towards the city. Panchashika praised the Buddha in verse: "All bonds of existence forever severed, mind unwavering and pure, free from the dust of defilements, he enters this ancient land. His nature perfectly luminous, the demon's evil thoughts destroyed, virtues vast as the ocean. Now he enters this land. His majestic form peerless, all mental disturbances ceased, though abiding now nowhere. Now he enters this land, having crossed the 4 floods, transcending birth and decay, cutting existence's root. Now he enters this land. At that time, the wealthy Purnaka beheld the Buddha approaching from the far. His faculties serene, his appearance peerless in the world, radiant like celestial gold. Adorned with the 32 major marks, the 80 minor characteristics, his majestic form towered like Mount Sumeru, above all peaks, blazing like a golden mountain of gold. Overwhelmed Purnaka asked Sumati in verse, "Is this the sun's radiance? Never have I seen such splendor. Billions of dazzling lights make it hard to gaze directly." Sumati knelt with palms joined and replied in verse, "Neither sun nor moon's light, yet radiating 1,000 beams, or for all living beings' sake. And as my master, sacred teacher, as all devas praise him, so too should we rejoice. Now we'll reap great fruit through devout offerings." Then the wealthy Purnaka knelt on his right knee and praised the Tathagata in verse. "I take refuge in the ten-powered one, whose golden form radiates perfect light. Revered by gods and humans, today I surrender to you. O Sun, King of wisdom, bright as a moon among the stars, guiding the unguided, today I surrender to you. Majestic as Shakra, compassionate as Brahma, liberating yourself and all beings, today I surrender to you. Sovereign of heaven and earth, supreme over all spirits, vanquishing false doctrines, today I surrender to you." Sumati knelt with palms joined and praised, self tamed yet taming others, self awakened yet awakening all, ferrying beings across, freeing the liberated, cleansing the defiled, illuminating the darkened, none beyond salvation, ending all conflict. Dwelling in perfect purity, unshakable in mind, O ten powered, compassionate one, I bow at your sacred feet. With heart of loving kindness and sympathetic joy and equanimity, perfected in shunya, signlessness and wishlessness, supreme among all in the realm of desire, adorned with the seven heavenly treasures, the devas, Brahma light arises spontaneously, incomparable and beyond imagining. Now I take refuge. When the 6,000 Brahmanas witnessed Bhagwan's miraculous displays, they whispered, "Let us leave this land. Shramana Gautama has subdued its people." They fled immediately, never to return. Like the lion, king of beasts emerging from mountains, surveying the four directions, roaring thrice before hunting, all creatures scattered in terror. Even mighty elephants panic at the lion's roar. So too did these Brahmanas flee at the Bhagwan's Dharma voice. Such is the awakened one's power. Then Bhagwan withdrew his miraculous power, entered Purnavardhana city ordinarily. As his foot touched the threshold, the earth quaked. Devas showered flowers. People beheld his serene countenance, adorned with 32 marks and 80 noble characteristics in majestic splendor. The people then spoke this verse: "The supreme among two legged beings, the Brahmanas dare not face, foolishly serving Brahmanas. They lost this Lord of men." The Bhagwan went to the elder's house and took his seat. The crowd in that country had grown extremely large. 84,000 people gathered at the elder's residence, threatening to crush the house in their desire to see Bhagwan and the Bhikshu Sangha. Bhagwan thought, "These people may cause harm. I shall use spiritual power to let the entire nation see me and the Sangha." Instantly, Bhagwan transformed the house into lapis lazuli, transparent inside and out like viewing a pearl in one's palm. Sumati then approached Bhagwan, prostrated at his feet, and with mixed joy and sorrow spoke this verse: "Perfect in all wisdom, transcending all phenomena, severing desires' bonds, I take refuge now. Better my parents had blinded my eyes than send me here to this den of wrong views. What past evil karma brought me to this place? Like a bird in a snare, please cut these doubts." Then Bhagwan replied to Sumati in verse: "Now rejoice without worry. Calm your anxious heart. Abandon all clinging thoughts, for the Tathagata will explain. No sinful karma brought you here, but past vows fulfillment to liberate these beings, to pull up their roots of suffering. Thousands will be saved. Through you, they will cross over. Today, their stains purified. Wisdom's light will shine. Gods and humans alike shall see you as a jewel." Hearing this, Sumati was overcome with joy. The elder then served Bhagwan and the Sangha with exquisite food. After the meal, he offered the cleansing water, took a low seat before the Bhagwan, while the 84,000 attendees sat in order, some announcing their names as they sat. At that time, the Bhagwan gradually expounded the wonderful teachings to that elder and assembly of 84,000 people. These teachings were the discourse on precepts, the discourse on charity, the discourse on rebirth in heaven, the contemplation on the impurity of desires, the defilement of outflows, and the importance of renunciation. Then, the Bhagwan, perceiving that the elders, Sumati, the laywoman, and the 84,000 people had opened their minds and attained understanding, proceeded to preach to these beings the dharma always taught by the Buddhas: suffering, its origin, its cessation, and the path. Thereupon, while seated, their defilements and impurities were entirely removed, and they attained the pure dharma eye, just as a spotless white cloth easily takes dye. In the same way, the wealthy elder Sumati, the lay woman, and the 84,000 people had their defilements completely removed, attained the pure dharma eye, were freed from doubt, acquired fearlessness, and all took refuge in the three jewels, undertaking to observe the Panchashila. At that time, Sumati, the lay woman, spoke this verse before the Buddha: the Tathagata's ears are pure and clear. Hearing of my suffering in this plight, descending with divine power here, all have gained the Dharma eye bright. Then, after the Bhagwan finished teaching, he rose from his seat and returned to his dwelling. The bhikshus then asked the Buddha, due to what past causes was Sumati born into a wealthy family? And what karma led her to fall into this household of wrong views? By what virtuous deeds did she now attain the pure Dharma eye? And what merit enabled 84,000 others to likewise gain the Dharma eye? The Bhagwan told the bhikshus, in the distant past, during the Bhadrakalpa, there appeared Kashyapa Buddha, the Samyak Sambuddha, the knower of the worlds, unsurpassed Lord, tamer of men, teacher of the Devas and the humans, the awakened, the blessed, who dwelt in Varanasi, teaching with a great assembly of 20,000 bhikshus. At that time, there was a king named Amrita, whose daughter was called Sumana. The princess devoutly upheld the precepts under Kashyapa Tathagata, practiced generous giving, and offered the four kinds of support. First, Dana, charity; Maitri Gaurava, loving reverence; Hita Anukampa, benefiting others; and Samata Anugraha, impartial benevolence. She recited Dharma verses from an elevated terrace, voicing this aspiration. By these four practices and by recitation before the Tathagata, even if my merit be slight, may I never be reborn in the three wretched realms or a poor family. May I meet a Buddha like this in the future ages, retain my female form, and attain the Dharma eye. At that time, the people of the city, hearing the princess make such vows, gathered before her and said, today the princess shows supreme faith, performing virtuous deeds, never lacking in the four acts: giving, loving kindness, benefiting others, and impartial care. She further vows, may we encounter such a Bhagwan in the future ages. Should he preach to us, may we swiftly gain the Dharma eye. By the princess's vows, today, may our entire land and the people be liberated together. The princess replied, I dedicate these merits to you all. If we meet a Tathagata who teaches, may we attain liberation simultaneously. Bhikshus, do you doubt this? Do you think so? The Amrita king is of old is now elder Sudatta, Anathapindita. The princess Sumana is this very Sumati. Those citizens then are today's 84,000. By their vows, they now meet me. Hear the Dharma, realize the truth, and all gain the Dharma eye. This is the cause. Remember this. Why? These four acts are the supreme field of merit. If a bhikshu cultivates them, he attains the four truths. Strive diligently to perfect these four. Thus, bhikshus, you should train thus. When the bhikshus heard what the Buddha said, they followed it with joy. This is the end of Ekotara Agama Sutra, volume 22. Yes, doctor.
Yeah,
Long.
yeah, very long one, you know. Okay. This is also a very rare occasion where Buddha shown magic, you know, when you go this thing. Because, what do you call? Because the rich man brings 6,000 heretic, you know. There's quite a lot of people, okay, this thing. So the Buddha have to use this magical power, you know, to overcome them, you know, okay? Because these people, they half naked, you know, okay, this thing, and they eat pork and and what do you call, and drinking the wine. You see, most people, they don't take pork, book is very dirty, okay, roaming around. Even in India, you go and see the what they call roaming around, eating all the dirty thing, Okay, so that's why even Confucius say a gentleman do not take pork. Not only the Muslim don't take pork, Okay, a gentleman don't take pork. Okay, then they drink. They are not taking a good food, and they are drinking of this thing. Okay, but the thing is that but the thing, even the leader of the heretic, they show respect to Buddha,
Hmm.
Okay, when this when the princess talked to him, he still showed the respect. Okay, so in this thing, this sutta is very important, Okay, that mean they know that she's going to marry to the heretic, Okay, but she go so that she have the chance to promote the Dharma to them, and this is exactly what happened, At the end of the day, the father-in-law also take refuge to Buddha, and so many people, okay, take refuge to Buddha because of the of the magic, they are showing. No, it's occasionally Buddha shown the magic, but not all the time. Okay, only in this time because the king 6,000 is a lot of people, 6,000 6,000 I think. So Buddha will come in something funfair, something even greater, that to overcome the commotion, so the people will make a comparison, Okay, this is a very interesting sutra. Okay, so you should read it like a fairy tale. Okay, sometimes it happen in this way, yeah.
Doctor, one thing I learned is lapis lazuli, where he is telling that it is a transparent crystal. Remember today in the session, he's explaining that where so many people coming to see the Buddha, he converts the whole house into lapis lazuli. So means the lapis lazuli is transparent, not blue colored.
No. It's not the blue stone,
Ah.
Okay, the lapis lazuli is a clear crystal.
No, we have a reference now in the text. Now in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Agama.
it's a clear
Ah,
crystal. It's no like diamond, like clear crystal. This is lapis lazuli,
yeah,
not the blue stone,
right.
Today they use the blue stone to represent. I don't know why they are using the blue stone. No, blue stone cannot be. It's opaque, the true
Okay.
stone. So lapis lazuli here is a crystal,
Yeah. So
transparent crystal.
yeah. So,
Okay.
doctor, we open the floor for questions, if any.
Yeah. See whether there's
Almost
any
time up.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions, Rucha? Can you just check?
I will check on YouTube.
No questions. I don't think so.
Yeah. This is a
No.
long sutra.
Long sutra. It was more like a story, but it was an.
Yeah. No, you see, sometimes Buddha also he manifests magic power to overcome when the situation are very serious, no. Okay, they overcome occasionally. Okay, like this the monk, the Senhua go to America. Okay, at first people don't believe in him, so he had to appear a few miracles, no.
Mhm.
Okay, when they're going down the I think from high story, Okay, by the time they coming down, they saw that he already sitting in a car, waiting for them in front, using this translocation
Translocation.
scale. Okay, and he appeared. He what do you call? He's shown many magic, in America. Okay, finally for them to accept him, Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes it's not easy. So that the showing of magic is only one purpose, to convert people to Dharma. Okay, this is the thing. Otherwise, Buddha will never show the magic. Yeah.
I think, doctor, that makes the session like the end of the session because
Yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
not many questions and we are on time also right now.
Yeah, you're on time. Yeah.
So,
So,
I mean,
so I
summarize.
think we see you again in next
Please.
week.
Yeah,
Okay.
doctor. Thank you so
Yeah. Thank
much.
you very much. Yeah.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye bye. Yeah.
So that brings.
Doctor, I'm just checking Facebook comments, and the question by Rajiv Srivastav is asking why we die.
Doctor, if you're still here, there's
Yeah.
one question.
Yeah.
Quickly, if you could answer before you go, Why
Yeah.
somebody asking a question on Facebook? Why do we die?
Why do we die? Anything take out the namarupa form will destroy.
Mhm.
Any manifestation, in namarupa will be destroyed. Not only we, even this earth one day will be destroyed. Even this universe one day will be destroyed. That is part of the nature, Okay, and in namarupa there is a beginning, there is an end. So four stages, there's a beginning, there's a development, there's a decay, then there's a destruction. Okay, this it's always there, Not only our body, anything, Even your handphone, okay, even your car, okay, even anything that you can see, you can feel the namarupa. There's always a beginning, there's always an end, because it is an illusion. These are the things. That's why we die, because our body is a namarupa.
Mhm.
Our body is namarupa. Okay, so only the supreme consciousness, only the true nature. The one is they never born, never die. Okay, but the problem is that there is no fixed characteristic for it to describe. We cannot describe it. Okay, and that's why we call it empty. Actually, it's not empty. Okay, but we don't have anything to describe it. That's why we call it empty. Okay, this because we cannot see it. We call it empty. Okay, that is the true nature, the supreme consciousness. Okay, that one will be never destroyed. Okay, so you must understand that we die. The physical body will be destroyed, but you won't be destroyed. You are always there. Life always there. Okay, life can never be destroyed. What can be destroyed is only the body. Okay,
Mhm.
so that's why you need to manage your life now. You make sure that your life go to the right direction. Otherwise you're roaming around for millions of years endlessly. That is not a good idea. Okay, this is
Correct.
what the Buddha say. Okay, so you need to manage your life now. Try to detach yourself from this world. Okay, so that you need not come back.
So,
This thing,
thank you so much.
or you go to Greenland, okay, or you go to the supreme abode of your God. Okay, that's your choice. Yeah,
Okay, thank you so much, Doctor.
yeah.
That was one question. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah,
thank you,
yeah.
Shah, and
Yeah,
thank you,
yeah.
everyone.
No,
And
no, no need to worry about dying. No need to worry about death. Okay, your life is always there. Yeah.
that's a
Thank
very
you.
nice
Yeah,
statement. Thank you so much. So
yeah,
that's where we end, saying that there's no need to worry about death.
yeah.
That there's
Don't worry.
there is nothing to worry about that. We will continue. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
See you then. See you then. Bye
yeah.
bye.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So this brings us to the end of another session. It was a long sutra that we studied, and hope to see you again next week. Till then, namaste and bye bye.